A very warm welcome in the class of Mathematics 1. Today, this is the continuation of the last class, that is volumes and surfaces of revolution. This particular topic comes under the module of integral calculus. Myself Rupak Bhattacharya, Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics, GIS College of Engineering. So, as this is the continuation of the last class, the prerequisites are almost identical like the last one. Here also we need the concept of definite integration and the applications of definite integration in the field of this revolution of the curve and the area and the volume generated by that revolution. We also need the idea of revolution of a curve, which I have stated in the last class. I have tried my best to make you understand that what is the physical interpretation of revolution of a curve, how it revolves, with respect to which axis we have to consider, what are the variations we have to consider, and other things. And we also need the visualization capacity. That means the geometry behind this whole topic, because geometry if clear to us, then we can approach the problem by various directions. It may be from the concept of revolution of a curve, it may be some other calculus, it may be some algebraic method, but the geometry has to be clear, and how that particular structure of the geometrical surfaces and volumes are generated, we have to make this idea crystal clear. So to continue the last class, we are now proceeding for the next topic. But you can most probably recall that in the last class we have mainly emphasized on the volume of revolution. That means what are the volumes of that solid which is generated by the revolution of a curve. Today, initially, we are going to emphasize on the surface part. So, we will see this particular figure. I think it is very much clear to you that what is going on. There is a curve in the black color, and that curve is rotating with respect to the axis which is like this one, this axis. This is the axis, okay? And you can see that after revolution of this particular thing, one surface is generated. If you think it as hollow, then this surface starting from this one is like a balloon shape is generated. Our target here is to find out this surface area generated by the revolution of this particular black curve, okay? And now we can think for the next one also. You see that by rotation of a curve, one shape of pot is generated. Our target is to find out the area of this particular surface. So here what we see, here our curve is something like that, which is rotating in this way, and here our curve is something like this, or there will be more steep, basically this one, and this is rotating with respect to this, and then you are seeing these two figures are generated, for which we have to find out the area. So this is our main target, and obviously instead of these hollow things, if they are solid things, then we can find out also the volume generated by this curve's revolution, clear, which is actually discussed in the last class. Now moving forward, what we see, surface of revolution means a surface is formed when the curve is rotated about a line or axis. So we can start thinking from the very basics. What we see that if we have a cylinder like this, and you can think about this straight line, it is rotating with respect to this axis, and then this structure is generated. Now this structure is having the surface like these particular positions. It is the outer one, and if you see about the backward position, this one. Now how to find out the surface area? What we do, we are cutting it here, then we are flattening this particular circular surface and we get this. It is very much clear that we can get this one. Just like when we are trying to measure the length of a thread, if this is our thread, what we see, we fix it and then we stretch it and we get this one, and then we can measure the length of this one by a scale. Similarly, when it is something like this, after cutting it, we can place it like this, and the height of this particular cylinder is h, so this one is h, and we know that this is a circle or circular area whose perimeter is 2 pi r. We know that if it is r, then it is 2 pi r. So this length starting from this point going to this direction and this one, this length will be 2 pi r. So what will be the area now? It became a rectangular shape. So what will be the area? It will be 2 pi rh. But have we used any calculus over here? No. Have we used any integration or something like that? No. Because it is a very simple surface and we can find out the area of this surface by this technique also. Now, if we have some little bit complications, then what is the process? So we are checking the next step. What we are saying here, that we start with some simple surface, and what the status, what the thing I have discussed just now, the thing is written the same. Now we are going for the next example, and we are trying to find out the area of this cone. That means the slanting surface area of this cone. Now you can think that how this area is generated, we have to know first. Yes. So you can take the axis here. Okay. And you can take this line. Now this point is the intersecting point of this axis and this line. Now we are rotating this line with respect to this axis full. Then you can visualize that this structure is generated and this is the surface area of this particular part. Now what we can do, again we can cut over here and we can make it flatten, and if we flatten it, we will get that this is the thing, and this is as the circular part, the complete circle, this part is 2 pi r, because you have covered it to create a circle. But when you are thinking about this bigger one, then this is theta. Okay, so this is your L, this is your L, and this is theta. So you can cut it, you can take a paper of this shape, you can cut it and you can make it flatten to visualize it more concretely. And what we see, that the area will be half L square theta. Why it is half L square theta? Because it is actually the formula for S. S means the curved surface. So if you are taking this theta, how to measure this theta? We know that S equal to r theta. So theta is equal to S by r. Now S is what? This one, 2 pi r, and r is what? L. So that is why this is 2 pi r by L. So theta is replaced by the relationship S equal to r theta, and this area is half L square theta, because it is pi r square for the whole thing. Now if this is pi r square as the area of this whole thing for 360 degree, then for theta what will be the ratio? You can find out this. but ultimately by simplifying what we get, it is pi r l. By simplifying this l square and l, we can get this pi r l. So this is also done by non-calculus approach. Similarly, we are trying to find out the area just shown in the blue color. This is a partial area of the cone, and where the smaller circle is having the radius r1 and the bigger circle is having the radius r2. Clear? So how to find out this area? This area will also be 2 pi rl. What is L? L is this particular length. In the previous example, the whole length is L, but here this area, this length is L. That means what is in our target area, where R is half of R1 plus R2, means the average of the radius of the bigger circle and the smaller circle. Now we will proceed further, and we must have a question that where is the application of the integral calculus. So look at this. When this is our y equal to fx and we need the surface of revolution, this surface will be generated by this blue shape, and when we need to analyze it, we will create one approximating band over here. This is our approximating band. This is a band shape. Look at this, and this is our approximating band. So it is p0. In this way we are proceeding, and we get pi minus 1 and pi. These 2 points are taken and the calculation will be done, and the calculation will be done by like this. We need this particular formula to find out the area, that if we have a curve y is equal to fx form and the bounding points, that means the lower limit and upper limits are a and b, we need to use this formula to find out the area of this particular curve. Area generated by this particular curve is integration a to b 2 pi y root over 1 plus dy dx whole square dx. So this formula will give us the surface of revolution by y equal to fx. And if we think about it in reverse, that means if this is generated by the rotation with respect to y axis, not with respect to x axis, then our function will be in terms of x equal to gy. Like the previous discussion in the last class, we have volume of revolution generated with respect to x axis rotation, and sometimes it is with respect to y axis rotation. So what we see, that if it is with respect to y axis rotation, then it will be x equal to gy, where y lies between c and d, and the formula will be just as symmetrical 2 pi x. This will be x root over 1 plus dx dy whole square dy. With respect to y we have to integrate. So let us come for the examples. The first example is y is equal to fx form. That means the formula, first formula will be used, and the range is also given from -1 to 1. It is also stated in the example that it is the arc of a circle y square x square plus y square equal to 4. It is very much clear. If you make it square, you will get y square equal to 4 minus x square. So x square plus y square equal to 4. Now our job is to find out the area of the surface obtained by the rotating of this arc about the x-axis. The surface is a portion of the sphere of radius 2, because we are not considering the whole sphere. So this is the interesting diagram of this one. Look at this. If you just continue it in both the directions, and if you just cover it up, you will get a sphere. But the question is asked here, we don't want to get the area of the whole sphere, we want the area of this particular shaded from -1 to 1. So here the intersecting point with x-axis is -1, and here it is +1. We need this surface. Clear? So we can write, as we need 1 plus dy dx whole square, 1 plus dy dx square root over of that one. So first of all, we are doing this differentiation of y with respect to x. So it is 4 minus x square to the power half. So if it is 4 minus x square to the power half, then half will become in the forward part after differentiation. Then 4 minus x square half into 4 minus x square half minus 1. So half minus 1 is minus half, so it is also okay. After that we have to differentiate 4 minus x square with respect to x. So it will be minus 2x, because we are differentiating this 4 minus x square. 4 is going to be contributing 0 and minus x square will give you minus 2x. So after simplification, this 2 and this 2 will be cancelled out. This minus sign will be there. This x will be here. Now look at this 4 minus x square to the power minus half. It is nothing but 1 by 4 minus x square to the power half. And 1 by 4 minus x square to the power half means 4 minus x square root over. So after simplifying, we can write this expression for dy dx. So our final step is to use the formula for s. And the formula for s gives us, it is from minus 1 to 1, 2 pi y root over 1 plus dy dx square dx. Now look at this. Everything is known to us. It is a problem of your 11-12 now. Your job is to substitute the required expression of y, and your job is to substitute the required expression of dy dx. After substituting them, what you get, 2 pi is constant, it is taken out. Then minus 1 to 1 is the lower limit and the upper limit. After that, in place of y, we will write root over 4 minus x square, it is given, or we can generate it also from the equation of x square plus y square equal to 4. Then root over 1 plus dy dx whole square. Now dy dx we got as minus x by root over 4 minus x square. So that square is written. After that, I am not elaborating because it is just simply a calculation. You can do this calculation and you can make this simplification like this, and you can get the answer of the surface required here as 8 pi. Okay. Now proceeding further for the next example, our job is to find out the area when the parabola y equal to x square is rotating with respect to y axis. Now the formula is reversed. In the previous case, we have done it for x axis, and for this case, we are now trying to do it for y axis. So y equal to x square, and our limiting points are also given from 1 1 to 2 4. So this is the structure. Now parabola is y is equal to x square, and this is our y equal to x square. If we just continue it, we will get this y equal to x square over here. But it is not asked. Asked is from 1 1 to 2 4. So 1 1 is this point and 2 4 is this point. So 1 1 to 2 4, when we are trying to find it out, our surface will be in this blue form. And as it is rotation with respect to y axis, this is generated this. Now how to proceed? It is just our target is to make this expression as x is equal to gy, because it is the rotation with respect to y axis. So y equal to x square is given, x is equal to root over y, we have taken it. Then this formula requires 2 pi x ds. So we need 2 pi x root over 1 plus dx dy whole square, then dy. So we are going to differentiate this one with respect to y. So dx dy will be, it is as simple as that, because root over y is nothing but y to the power half. So if you differentiate it, you will get half y to the power half minus 1, that is minus half, and this y to the power minus half can be written as 1 by root over y. So it is written as this. So again I am saying that it is merely a calculation. Your job is to calculate this as per your own choice, and you can then check this calculation is similar with you or not. And obviously there are assignments provided to you, which you have to solve within stipulated time, and then your concept will be clear. So what we are doing here, it is 2 pi 1 to 4. The limit is 1 to 4 from where we get. Look at this, it is 1 1 to 2 4. So what is the y component here? Y component is here 1, and what is the y component here? Here y component is 4. So the integration will be from 1 to 4. Okay. Then nothing is new. 2 pi is constant, it is taken outside. 1 to 4, then in place of x it is root over y is written, and then we are writing 1 plus dx dy, and it is 1 by 4y, because 1 by 2 root y is going to be squared, and then dy. So ultimately we get this one, 4y plus 1. Now we need the concept of substitution. You have to substitute it, and accordingly y and u you have to write. So y, the limit is 1 and 4. So similarly you have to find out the limit for u, and substituting in this relation 1 plus 4y. So if you put y equal to 1, your lower limit for u will be 5, and if you put your lower limit upper limit as 4, then the value upper limit of u will be 16 plus 1, that is 17. After that the integration is done and substitution is made for lower limit and upper limit, and the final result as required here is generated by this. Now what we will do, we will have one problem to solve. So let us start it. If we have to find out the surface area of the solid generated by revolving the cycloid, the equation of cycloid is x is equal to a theta plus sine theta, and y is equal to a 1 plus cos theta. Now we can think we are having the relationship between x and y and x. Then how can we measure this particular thing here? Our requirement is dy dx or dx dy. Then how we can generate this particular structure for this problem? But our requirement is to find out the area. So first of all, for the visualization purpose, it is something like this. Okay, where this is the origin, where this point is A, where theta is equal to pi, and this point is suppose B, where theta is equal to minus pi. Okay, and here the point is C, where theta is equal to 0. This is your y-axis and this is your x-axis. So we can do this calculation very easily, that dx d theta here will be a into 1 plus cos theta, and similarly dy d theta is here a into 0 minus sin theta, that is minus a sin theta. So we can write it here, dy dx is equal to minus a sin theta by a into 1 plus cos theta. After simplifying, we can cancel out this a and we get it as minus tan theta by 2. It is just coming from the trigonometry. Now our required surface of revolution will be according to the formula is 2 pi integration minus pi to pi y root over 1 plus dy dx whole square dx. Just our job is to replace this with respect to theta. So 2 pi, it is minus pi to pi. In place of y we can write a into 1 plus cos theta, it is given, and then root over 1 plus dy dx we have calculated minus tan theta by 2. So after squaring it we can write it as okay, I am writing it firstly minus tan theta by 2 whole square, and then dx is required. Now dx will be from this calculation a into 1 plus cos theta d theta. So we can write it here a into 1 plus cos theta d theta. So it is now a problem of 11 and 12. So after solving this we can get it as, you can do it by step. We are also doing this, but some step jumps may be there. You please make it the calculation by your own so that your confidence will be built up. So it will be sec theta by 2 d theta, and then we are getting, after this calculation or simplification, 64 by 3 pi a square. So this is your answer of this particular problem. So before concluding this class, I want to share one information that in case of, if it is not given directly by x and y or Cartesian coordinate rather, if something is given in terms of polar, then what will be the volume of revolution? Pi theta 1 to theta 2 r square sine square theta d r cos theta, and the surface of revolution will be 2 pi integration theta 1 to theta 2. I think you are getting my point. R theta is in polar coordinate, and it will be theta 1 theta 2 r sine theta, then root over dr square plus r square d theta. These are the informations, and you can get some problems on this one also, where you can just use this formula. So I want to conclude this class over here, and these are the assignments for you. You have to solve these problems. Obviously you have to use both the ideas, this class as well as the previous class, and these are the references I have used to generate this particular video lecture for you. Thank you for your patience. Happy listening, happy learning.